NL West when you had to win the division, and then you went to the National League Championship Series. They didn't have all the playoffs. If they had that now, I think they would have went to the playoffs multiple times in that decade, including the 90s, because, I mean, they expanded the playoffs in 94, and that's when they had a strike. But in 95, they made it. And everybody said, well, it's different now. No. It's the Yankees were still outspending everybody. There's the Dodgers were still out. There were still teams outspending everybody. The Reds were just spending money, but they're being smart with it. And that stadium, that old cookie cutter Riverfront Stadium, was full. Well, maybe not packed, but there was a lot of people there because it was a competitive ball club. And ever since we've gotten GABP, and I love GABP, and ever since Marge Schott is gone, and say what you want about her, she wanted to win, and she did her best to put containing teams together. From Carl Leonard now to Bob Castellini, we've had four playoff teams.
Yep,
that's it. I'm like, and I don't know a Major League City who would want to go watch that all the time. You want to win.
Right. And you're talking about, of those four, two of the playoff appearances, they were in the playoffs for what felt like 20 minutes, and then they were gone.
Yeah.
It's been frustrating to watch how they put things together like that. Because, I look back and I say, gee, like, think about even if they just had the 4 playoff teams instead of the 6, like, how many years in a row would the Reds have made the playoffs back in the 80s and the 90s? That would have been fun to see. I mean, obviously not in the early 80s, but yeah. And now you look at this team and they're trying to, beg and plead like, hey, look, we're all right. We're doing fine. We won 80 games. We won 83 games. We're doing all right.
We got all kinds of cool food down here. You can come and check out. We got fry boxes and we got all this stuff there. Yeah, go check that out. Mm-hmm.
Give me them fry box. Yeah. And that's just that's the thing of it. Like, win and you'll get people in. Like, people are tired of hearing about bobbleheads. Yes. People want to hear about wins.
Put it this way, I've said, this is kind of the analogy I've used. If Mike Brown can get cheered down by Bengals fans,
yeah,
then Phil Castellini can get cheered by Reds fans if you freaking win. They're going to come. We're going to support a winning. Look at the Cyclones. I mean, they had the Coliseum. I still call it the Coliseum, whatever they call it down there now. Heritage Bank Arena, I think they call it. They had it almost sold out for a minor league hockey team. I mean, when they won the 2 Kelly Cup playoff games, it was sold out. The Bengals season, every ticket this season is going to be sold out. I mean, UC football, they won. Yep. Every game was sold out. You win, we'll come. You don't win, we're not coming. You act like we should show up just because it's Major League Baseball. Are you out of your freaking mind? We're not going to show up just because I might go to 1 or 2 games, but if you're winning, hell, I might go to 20 games. If you're losing, I'll go to 2 or 3. That's it. I can watch them on TV, and they lose, I'll change channel.
Right. And the nice thing is, whenever they're batting as poorly as they have been, games kind of last pretty quick. But overall, give me a winner, man. Give me a winner. And I know that they're talking about, like, they want to develop, they want to draft, they want to develop from within, and that's how they're going to build a winner. But why on earth does it feel like they just came up with that idea yesterday? Like, it seems like that should have been the idea all along. But Dick Williams saw where this team was headed at the end of 2018 and said, we got to pivot. We got to figure things out because people are being apathetic about this team with good reason because they haven't done anything. We are now heading again toward that apathetic, like,
it's worse. I think it's worse now because of Phil Castellini. But I mean, we had 6 years of rebuild where they were supposed to develop players. Who did they develop? Jonathan India,
which him and Tyler Stevenson. I think he was picked. He was picked in 2016, I believe.
Yeah,
2018.
So you got Hunter Green and Lodolo. I mean, I guess, but they were 18, so they were actually after the quote unquote.
Yeah, because Green was 2017, and I think Lodolo was 2019. But yeah, it's like, you're not talking about guys that have come up through the system from 2014 on. Like, that list is sadly very short.
Yeah, I mean, Parker's got to go, and the one we did develop, we traded, and Jesse Winker.
Yeah,
I mean, and that one, Jeff, I have to ask you this, and this one just boggles my mind. Jesse Winker is a young player. He's on the upward swing. He made his first All-Star game. He's arbitration eligible, but he's not making a ton of money. He's not making as much money as like Nick Castellanos got.
Sure.
Why in the hell did they trade him? Was it so much to them to get rid of Eugenio Suarez that they threw Jesse Winker in there? I mean, that's the one that completely irritated me. Why would you trade your best young prospect? I mean, okay, Jonathan India probably is, but your second best one. What are you actually the one you actually developed and you traded him? I mean, I would just what?
The only thing I can think of, if I try to put myself in Nick Kral's shoes, which that's hard to do. I'm not sure what size his shoes are. I might not fit. But when it comes to that trade, I look at Brandon Williamson and I say he's got a very bright future. I look at Jake Fraley and I think he's going to be okay, although most people figure him to be more of a fourth outfielder. So that's not exactly a 1-for-1 there when you're talking about Fraley for Winker. And then Justin Dunn, who is hurt, and we most likely won't see him till July or August. He could be interesting, at least out of the bullpen for the Reds. The only issue with that was Eugenio Suarez did not have a bad contract. And Nick Krall made this blanket statement there at the beginning of the offseason that says, we will not attach prospects to bad contracts just to trade them away. So they attached an all-star to a bad contract. I don't understand it at all. And when you're talking about trying to make that trade sound positive, you gotta squint. I don't know if you notice. I think I did that like just instinctively. Like, let's see. Yeah, you really got to squint for that one. And we're not going to know for a few years. And I will say this: I saw Connor Phillips pitch, the player to be named later that we heard so much about whenever they talked about this trade. He did pretty well, at least in his first start there for the Dayton Dragons. So I'll be interested to see how these guys develop, and the full rating on the trade will probably be a few years away, but even still, it stings, man, because Winker and Suarez has hit a couple home runs already. Like he's bouncing back. He just is.